Hey up YouTubers, Simon B here, welcome back to the channel. Hope you'll keep it safe out there. Look at this, in the garage again, getting ready for the season, or getting ready for something anyway. I got a new bike that I haven't shown you yet, but I'm not going to show you until it's sort of about ready and we have a ride out on it. Because we're still doing some bits to it. So today we're in the middle of changing the oil and the seals in these forks. These forks are 4CS, so they're a little bit different to normal forks. They have an internal chamber which you fill in from a different way. We'll show you how to do all that in a minute. We're halfway through it, we've already done one of them, and I thought I'd bring you boys and girls along. It's relatively the same, changing the seals, but just filling the oil on this bad boy is slightly different. So, fancy a bit of seal changing on your forks? One of those jobs that you've never ever done, never ever seen, and too frightened to do? Honestly, it's quite easy. Not a lot of tools. If you fancy a bit of that, as I say, stick around and stay tuned.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that people are a little bit frightened of forks. It's only recently, in the last couple of years, that since I've had dirt bikes, enduro bikes, what do you want to call them, depending on if you come from America or you come from the UK, that these are the sort of things you need to be doing. And looking after your suspension is one of the major service items that you need to be doing on your bike, because oil doesn't last forever. You change the oil in your engine every 10 hours, but you don't do the oil in your forks, which work as hard, probably not as hard, but work as hard as the oil that's in your engine, but you don't do that. So anyway, relatively easy to do. A couple of seals, a couple of simple tools. It's not really a step-by-step, but it's just sort of an understanding of what needs to be done. So what we need to really do is to take the bit of furniture off. Now, if you have a vise, get yourself a pair of soft jaws. Probably not the soft jaws that I've got here. I'm going to end up probably changing them. So some of the bolts and that you can go back in. There's one on the side that we're not going to put back in because we need to clamp this this end in the vise. So instead of losing your nuts all over the place, screw them back into where they came from, and you'll know where they go later on. There's various ways of getting these caps off. You can get these 4CS caps. They're a bit weird. You can get special tools for all that. They're not usually tight, so a bit of a crude method. A couple of items that will fit into the holes. I've seen somebody using circlip pliers and stuff like that. Because this has got an O-ring in it, it shouldn't be that tight. He says shouldn't be. Possibly if I had this long ways in the vise, it might better get a bit more friction on them soft jaws. There we go. See, it's not. It shouldn't be really that tight. If you can hear that, somebody who had this bike before hasn't been bleeding their suspension whilst using it. How many of you lot, when you come back from a ride, take the bleed screws out the top of your forks? Get them automatic bleeders, builds up air pressure because the friction through going up and down, etc., etc. Fills full of air and can blow your seal. So every time you finish riding, that's what that screw's for. Read your manual, that's what it's for. 20mm spanner. Oh, this thing, sorry. Make sure your setting nut is completely out. You can check how far it was in or out, and then you can make a note of it. This I don't know because I've not ridden the bike yet, so I haven't really set it up, so I'm just going to leave it. 20mm spanner. Hopefully this won't be very tight, or as tight as it possibly shouldn't be. So you need about 6 pairs of hands doing this thing. There we go. You just don't know who's done it before, do you? That's the problem. So as per usual with anything, as you're taking stuff apart, just have a check of everything, make sure everything's Everything looks okay, nothing damaged, nothing worn, no bits of metal and things about. That's the top cap with the O-ring in it. It wasn't leaking, so we won't be changing that. There'll be nothing wrong with that really. There's a little bit of oil in here, in the spring. You've got all these proper places that do all this suspension. There are all these big stainless sinks and that all drains down into waste oil tanks. Can't afford that here. So yeah, take the excess of the spring, but just have a quick look at that. Make sure there's nothing snapped of it. Nothing looks like it's been fractured or anything like that. And just put it to one side where it's going to be out the way. Within the chamber now, there is going to be a little bit of oil. Nothing major in this part, but we'll get rid of it. Now I've taken the excess oil out the top of the fork. Most of the oil is within this cartridge, which we're going to check out here. And what we need to do, if you haven't got what you need to buy before you can start it, you need to take that out off. It's a 17mm Allen, which connects to this rod here, with the full cartridge inside. But we're not going to take that out today because there's nothing really wrong with it. So all we're doing is changing the oil. Oh, that's a bit looser than the last one. The last one we did was absolutely unbelievable, really. We're not going to undo it all the way. Don't want to pull it past the O-ring because then the oil will be will flow out, and we don't really want that at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to show you what this possibly what this oil is going to look like. You need about 3 hands to do these things, because this thing goes up, that goes down, that goes up, this goes down. It's like, wow. I'll show you that thing in a minute. I'll just stick that out there, and then I'm going to empty the oil. So there's a little bit of oil still left in there, but most of the oil is still in here. And look at that, that's been well used. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to put him back in there because I'm going to change everything else. Just past the O seal, that's all we need. One of the things you can do, because there's still excess oil in all these places, what I'm going to do this time, I'm just going to put that back up just to the O seal. The bottom's on, the top's on. There'll be no excess oil floating about everywhere. What we need to do now is to take this dust seal off, and to do a dust seal, they're all relatively easy. Probably 2 screwdrivers, small thin one, and a sort of a biggish one to start prizing it. These seals have like ridges on them, so if you get the first ridge out, you know, these things have been in here a bit. I don't know how long they've been in, but what you don't want to do is to sort of damage anything around. So you can just sort of pry in there, which I've just done. You probably won't be able to see that, I don't think. And then all you do once you've got it in, you just go around, and the thing just pops out like that. Let's say as you're taking it apart, just check everything, make sure everything's all right. So we've got a bit of dirt and stuff here. I think it's only a build-up of, yeah, it's only a build-up of dirt where it's been bottoming out. So just behind here now, there's a snap ring. Now this snap ring basically stops your forks from coming to bits, and it has a flat piece on it. Allows you to get your screwdriver on. A little bit rusty, and as you and as you turn, you can bring it off itself. Some people will say, well, you could warm this up now, because what we're going to do is to force this out. But usually, because you've got the main seal and the washer behind it, so use it as a slide hammer, and they usually just come out, just like that. Put them to one side, because this thing that we've got in the vise has got a little bit of oil in it. So like I say, once you've taken it out, a bit of clean, check the internals, make sure there's nothing damaged around, nothing inside, nothing outside. So as you can see here now, we've got various various items on this leg of this fork that we're going to take off. And as you take them off, you need to inspect them. So that just comes off from there. Now, this bushing is Teflon coated. As you can probably see, this probably wants renewing really, because the inside of it is worn. The good thing about this fork is you don't have to empty all your oil out, because it's in the cartridge and not in the top, so there's only about 60 mils in it. So I should have really ordered a set of them bushes, but unfortunately then we're going to go back in. Then we've got another bush, then we've got the main seal. Make sure that usually the spring goes down towards the fork leg. Then we've got the snap ring, let's say then you've got your dust seal. So that's how everything came off, so that's how everything should go back on the opposite way around. So just check all your chromings, everything's fine, there's nothing a problem. I've got a little bit of a mark there, but I think it's just dirt. I'm going to just get a bit of possibly a bit of Scotch Brite. So that's all ready for everything else to go back on. Now you can get bullets, different size bullets to go over the top of here, which are rounded, which allows you to put things on, because there's a little bit of a lip here, there's two lips here, which could damage your seals. But top tip, a bit of a lecky tip, don't need loads of it, just one round, you're only putting a couple of seals on. Just come to the end, and that'll take away the lip of it. Just lube the whole lot up with a bit of fork oil, and then we're going to put our new seals back on. So dust seal on first. Dust seals usually goes on easier than the main seal. Just 1 second, forgot. This kit comes with a bit of grease. As I say, don't go in dry, just grease that seal up and then slide him on. As you go on, turn it, don't just go up and down first go, just turn him so you don't end up damaging it. Snap ring, and then your main seal, because you're sort of working backwards here, aren't you? There we go. As I say, as you go on, just slide them on and turn it at the same time. Base washer, stick that in, don't forget him. And then we're all done now with the tape. Take your tape off. Top bushing, that really needs changing, so we're going to have to get that changed. Just get a bit of oil underneath it. Just make sure everything's sort of lubed and everything's got a bit. So there's various ways of doing this now. The other thing you do need is really a set of a fork driver. These are, I think, what was it, £9. So move everything out of the way that you don't need at this precise moment. So the first thing we're going to drive in is the so the first thing we drove in there was the washer, which you can put in first. Now we're going to put the seal in itself. Actually put the clip in itself, which has gone all the way down, and you can hear it just click back there into place of where exactly it should go. And if you get that to there, so to get that dust seal in there, I just warmed up a little bit, and it went in considerably better. So now what we're going to do, we're going to fill the cartridge up with oil. Now this fork doesn't really have an amount of oil that goes into it until it's basically as long as it's full. Other forks, not the 4CS, that don't have the chamber inside, have a level. This has a level, but we'll do that later on. But the cartridge just needs filling of oil. As long as it's full, that's all it needs in it. Other forks, not the 4CS, have an open chamber, so the dampening rod inside works all together, so you fill the full fork itself and then bleed everything. This is got a complete different chamber. This is why it's been done this way. So what we're going to do now is fill this chamber with oil. It takes somewhere around about 600 mils, same as the other ones really. So what you need to do is to fill it up. There's some holes in here. I don't think you won't better see. We've done 300 mils already, and you'd be wondering, well, where's all that oil going? Let's see if we can capture this on film. You might better see this, I don't know. You can see just in there, see if I can, you can see some holes just in that side there, and as I pour, you can see air bubbles coming out. So that's the cartridge. It's the internal cartridge, the separate cartridge on the 4CS forks, which is filling up with oil. And like we're nearly 600 mils in now, you see, and that's what you keep doing. So you keep filling that up. I think we're about there. Now this bit here can get a little bit messy, because what we need to do, if you just take the rod out just slightly, I'll just get past the O-ring so it won't leak anymore. So we know that internal cartridge now is full. So what I need to do now is to fill this to a level. 65 mil is what should put this level to now, with it fully closed shut, and apparently, depending on how firm and everything you want these forks to do, you can put more oil in or less oil in. I don't know how far we got last time. 1, 2, 3. These 4CS forks, you can adjust the oil level in this bit now to make it work differently. Manual says 65 mil air gap, fully closed, and then all you do is hold. That's set at 65mm. Is that? All it's done is sucked out everything down to 65 mil. And that's as easy as that to do. So now that cartridge is full of oil, That's at 65mm, which it should be. What we're going to do now is extend the whole fork. We'll put the spring back on. This is this is the worst part. I need about 12 hands now. This is I'm gonna have to find an easier way of doing this, because you need to hold that up, hold everything else up, and screw that on the top. That might stay, I think. I don't know. It might do. That might be easier one than yesterday's. As soon as you touch it, the bloody thing goes down, and then you can't get outdone, and it's just like, well, this cartridge rod usually goes down in, and you can't get anything on. Oh, oh god, this is dead easy. Oh, one thing, just remember, I should have said, this nut. Just make sure the nut, sometimes it comes loose. Make sure you wind it all the way back down onto the cartridge. A lot of people would pull the spring down and push that in. You don't really need to. You can get it at an angle. The nut itself is quite long, so you don't need to you don't really need to do anything like that. You just need to tighten this up. It doesn't need 100 Newton meters, does it? Because everything's held in by spring, and it's not really going to come loose. So it, you know, just be calm with it. This now can be taken to the top. Like I say, we don't need loads. And then what else we're going to do? We'll just stick him in the vise. No, stick him in the vise this way, because we need to. Need to tighten the bottom of here. That's enough. So that's the 4CS 48mm fork, now completely rebuilt and filled back up with oil. Stick it back on your bike. Set all your compression and rebound of what suited you, and off you go. So yeah, dead easy, isn't it? Even you can do this. Yeah, 4CS forks, dead easy to do. You can do this at home. Couple of bits. You don't need anything major. Screwdriver. The only thing you have to buy that'll the only thing you have to buy to make everything, your life a little bit easier, is a fork seal driver. You can actually do it without it. You can actually make one of these, but you can get hold of these. And I don't really like this one for some reason. It's just a bit tight on the inside onto the fork seal. Could do the bit being a bit looser, but anyway, we got there. We did everything. Everything's fine. That's for the bike that you haven't seen yet. We'll be introducing that soon. But as you know, 3 ribs cracked. Not riding today. It's Sunday morning. What else can you be doing? So thanks very much for watching to the end. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up. If you've liked this sort of content, we do all sorts of bits of stuff. It's just not all off-road. It's just over the winter that we've been doing. Button down there if you want to subscribe. Thanks very much. And sunny out there, not so bad weather. If you're riding out there, don't forget, ride safe, be safe, keep safe. And as they say, we'll see you soon.
Like and subscribe.